Sāriputta Pali or Sāriputra Sanskrit was one of two chief male disciples of Gautama Buddha along with Moggallana, counterparts to the Bhikkhunis Khema and Upalavana, his two chief female disciples. He became an arhat renowned for his teaching and is depicted in the Theravada tradition as one of the most important disciples of the Buddha. Sariputta is regarded as the disciple of the Buddha who was foremost in wisdom. Name. Sari was his mother's name and is also the name of the Indian myna bird. Her eyes were said to resemble those of the bird, red pine. The Heart Sutra p.72 Putra means son. He was also called Upatissa. This name came from his father's name, Tissa, Ibid. In the Japanese language he is called Shirihotsu. She-leave. Biography. Sariputta was the eldest son of Sari, a noblewoman. He was the eldest of brothers, Upasena, Mahachunda, and Ravata, and his sisters Chala, Upachala and Sisupachala. According with the Chinese version of the Mulasarvastivadin Vinaya, Sariputta came from a Brahmin family, and had already embarked on life as a spiritual ascetic when he encountered the teachings of the Buddha. Sariputta had a close friend Moggallana Sanskrit, Maudgalyayana, another wandering ascetic. They both renounced the world on the same day, and became disciples of the skeptic Sanjaya Balathaputta before converting to Buddhism. After hearing of the Buddha's teachings from a monk named Assaji Sanskrit, Asvahita, Sariputta sought out the Buddha and became an adherent to his teachings. These two are often depicted together with the Buddha, and several sutras regard interactions between Sariputta and Moggallana, who became renowned among the early Buddhists for his mastery of supernatural powers. Sariputta often preached with the Buddha's approval and was awarded the title, General of the Dharma, Pali, Dhammasenapati, for his propagation of the teachings and is regarded as the founder of the Abhidharma tradition. However, the Buddha also lightly reprimanded Sariputta on occasion when he did not fully explain the Dhamma to a prince, or when he allowed a group of novice monks to become too loud. Nevertheless, Sariputta was one of the most highly praised disciples, and on at least one occasion the Buddha declared him to be a true spiritual son and his chief assistant in turning the wheel of the Dhamma. If a person, rightly saying it of anyone, were to say, he is the Blessed One's son, his offspring, born of his mouth, born of the Dhamma, created by the Dhamma, his heir in the Dhamma, not his heir in material things, he would be rightly saying it of Sāriputra if he were to say, he is the Blessed One's son, his offspring, born of his mouth, born of the Dhamma, created by the Dhamma, his heir in the Dhamma, not his heir in material things. Sariputta, monks, takes the unexcelled wheel of Dhamma set rolling by the Tathagata, and keeps it rolling rightly. Death. According to the Pali Canon, Sariputta died peacefully on the full moon day of Kartika a few months before the Buddha, having achieved parinibbana, and when Sariputta's assistant, Kunda, gave the news to Ananda, Ananda was very distressed. He passed the news along to the Buddha, who remained at peace, and chastised Ananda's reaction, but, Ananda, haven't I already taught you the state of growing indifferent with regard to all things dear and appealing, the state of becoming separate, the state of becoming otherwise? What else is there to expect? It's impossible that one could forbid anything born, existent, fabricated, and subject to disintegration from disintegrating. Just as if the largest limb were to fall off a great tree composed of heartwood, standing firm, in the same way, Sariputta has attained total unbinding from this great community of monks composed of heartwood, standing firm. What else is there to expect? It's impossible that one could forbid anything born, existent, fabricated, and subject to disintegration from disintegrating. The stupa of Sāriputta. Sāriputta went to his native home, Nalika, a Brahmin village, as he wanted his mother who was still a non-Buddhist to be shown the correct path and faith. He died at the village after being successfully able to convert his mother and make her a path winner. After his body was cremated, the bones were taken to the Buddha by Kunda and on the Buddha's instruction handed over to King Ajatasattu. Ajatasattu enshrined these relics in a stupa which was venerated by the followers. In 261 BCE, King Dharmasoka opened the stupa on instructions received from Moggaliputta Tissa, who indicated the Third Buddhist Council. In Mahayana. While depictions of Sāriputra in the Pali Canon are uniformly positive, showing Sāriputra as a wise and powerful arhat, second only to the Buddha, his depiction in some Mahayana sources has often been much less flattering, serving often as a counterpoint. In the Vimalakirti Sutra, Sāriputra is depicted as the voice of the Hinayana or Sravaka tradition, which is presented in the Mahayana Sutras as a less sophisticated teaching. In this sutra, Sāriputra is unable to readily grasp the Mahayana doctrines presented by Vimalakirti and others, and is rebuked or defeated in debate by a number of interlocutors, including a female deity Deva, who refutes Sāriputra's Hinayana assumptions regarding gender and form. Here Sariputta questioned why, if she is so wise and capable, the Deva has a female body. The Deva then proceeded to teach a lesson in non-dualism by switching their sexes, and stating, "In all things, there is neither male nor female." However, in the Lotus Sutra, Buddha does predict that Sariputta will become a fully awakened Buddha one day named, "Flower Glow Tathagata," at which Sariputta's mind is said to "dance with joy." A dialogue between Sariputta and Avalokitesvara is also the context of the Heart Sutra, a brief but essential Prajnaparamita Sutra in Mahayana Buddhism. Gallery. See also: Moggallana, Samaditi Sutta, a Pali Canon discourse attributed to Sariputta, Sāriputra in the Jatakas, Sanchi, Bhatta Kundalaksa, a former Jain ascetic converted to Buddhism by Sariputta.